In October 2015, John Brennan, the director of the CIA and one of the most powerful men on Earth, received a phone call that would shatter the illusion of his agency's invincibility. The caller wasn't a state-sponsored super spy or a seasoned cyber terrorist. It was a 15-year-old kid named Crocker, the leader of a group called Crackers with Attitude, CWA. Crocker was high on weed, sitting in his bedroom, when he told the head of American intelligence, "I already own you." To the US government, this was a conspiracy of cyber terrorism. To Crocker, it was laughably easy, a 1 out of 10 on the difficulty scale. Brennan hadn't been hacked by a sophisticated brute force attack. He was undone by social engineering, a technical term for exploiting the human firewall. Crocker simply called Verizon's tech support, pretended to be an on-site technician, and provided a fake employee code he'd made up on the spot. With just a few pieces of public data, an address and the last 4 digits of a social security number, Crocker was able to reset passwords and seize control of Brennan's AOL account. Inside that inbox lay 47 pages of top-secret security clearance forms, detailing criminal histories and psychological records that the agency eventually spent $1.5 million to protect. This story reveals a terrifying technical reality in the age of global surveillance. Your greatest vulnerability isn't your password. It's the shadow profile that has already been built around you. While we worry about hackers, a shadow industry worth billions is already harvesting our lives. Data brokers gather every scrap of info available on the internet, your online transactions, contact information, and browsing history, and bundle them into shadow profiles. These aren't just lists, they are AI-driven constructs used to predict your behavior, sell your identity, or, in the wrong hands, dismantle your life. Even the most brilliant technical minds are haunted by these digital ghosts. Take Alexandre Kazis, the king of the dark web. Kazis ran Alphabet, a marketplace that processed $500,000 in sales every day. He was a multimillionaire who hid behind the anonymity of the Tor network and Bitcoin tumblers. But Kazis was undone by metadata, the technical footprint left behind by our digital actions. In the early days of Alphabet, a simple welcome email was sent to new users. That email contained a fatal error. Kaz's personal Hotmail address, pimp_alex_91@hotmail.com, was visible in the header metadata. That single unencrypted trace led the DEA straight to his LinkedIn, his PayPal, and eventually, his villa. Kazis thought he was a ghost, but his shadow profile had already been indexed by the state. This data doesn't just sit on corporate servers. It feeds what many call an automated panopticon. Under a controversial surveillance program renewed by the Biden administration, the US government has the power to spy on almost anyone on Earth without a warrant. This creates a vast database of electronic communications that is supposed to be accessed only for legitimate intelligence operations. However, the technical reality is far more invasive. In 2023, a court ruling found that the FBI misused this database 278,000 times between 2016 and 2020. They didn't just target terrorists, they snooped into the private lives of political donors, January 6th rioters, and Black Lives Matter protesters. The tech designed to protect us has been repurposed into a tool for systemic overreach. When power becomes this concentrated, it creates a dystopia where the elite are effectively untouchable. In South Korea, family-run conglomerates known as chaebols control so much of the national GDP that their leaders are frequently pardoned for crimes like bribery and embezzlement, because the economy relies too heavily on them to have them in jail. We see the same logic in the West's relationship with big data. We are told that the miracle of our digital economy requires us to sacrifice our privacy. But as we saw with the Seoul ferry tragedy in South Korea, where illegal modifications for profit led to the deaths of 300 children, prioritizing growth over safety eventually leads to catastrophe. In the digital world, that illegal modification is the erosion of the human right to be invisible. It may be impossible to entirely disappear from the internet, From the genius designs of narco-submarines that leave technical signatures in the jungle, to the metadata ghosts left by darknet kings, every action leaves a trace. We are living in a world where AI knows our secrets before we even speak them. The question isn't whether you have a shadow profile. The question is, who owns it, and what are they planning to do with it? Because as Crocker proved to the head of the CIA, the most powerful people in the world are only one social engineering call away from losing everything. And in this digital panopticon, they might even be surveilling us right now.